In the dimly lit alien observation chamber, an ancient council studies a mysterious blip near Neptune. When the object suddenly moves, confusion and dread ripple through the room. Switching to human eyes, a commander braces for an unprecedented event, silently uttering a chilling promise. The fragile power balance between species begins to shift. The alien council chamber hummed with uneasy energy. Tall, slender beings, pale and translucent, their eyes like liquid silver, sat clustered around a massive holographic globe, Neptune glowing in icy blue hues. In the center, a faint static speck flickered, unmoving for decades. It was labeled, simply, the myth. "Are you certain the humans still detect it?" whispered the elder Clithar, voice trembling in frequencies only their kind understood. "It should be inert, dead tech from the old wars." "Their scans are persistent," another murmured. But the image shifted. The speck twitched, shifting imperceptibly at first, then with sudden velocity. A ripple of panic seized the chamber. "It moves," breathed the youngest, eyes wide with terror. "This changes everything." A tense silence filled the room. Far beyond, humanity watched quietly. Commander Elena Vaz crouched in the cramped control pod of the USS Sentinel. The Neptune scan feed flickered with interference, the object's signature pulsing erratically. She traced her fingers over the console, heart pounding as ancient protocols whispered in her mind. "Commander," her tech specialist Malik said softly, "that thing's been cloaked for centuries. We always assumed it was a derelict. Ghost. Tech forgotten." Elena's voice was low, resolute. "No myth survives this long without a purpose. Prepare for active engagement. Signal code Alpha 7. No transmissions afterward." Her words were a promise and a threat. As silence blanketed their comms, Elena whispered under her breath, "We didn't come this far just to be forgotten." Back in the alien chamber, the elder Clithar clenched his claws, face draining of color. "If that object awakens, humanity will become something we never reckoned with." The myth was no myth. It was awakening. Beneath Neptune's swirling clouds, the object's origins begin to unravel as human scientists and soldiers race to understand its strange technology. Alien watchers debate in fear, unable to comprehend humanity's unorthodox tactics. Meanwhile, human minds grapple with the chilling reality of what they've awoken. Something not just ancient, but sentient. The USS Sentinel drifted silently on Neptune's shadowed edge, its sensors straining to penetrate the planet's swirling storms. Below, a ghostly shape rested beneath miles of shifting ice, an anomaly unlike any known to science. It pulsed faintly, humming with an energy not found in any natural or manufactured phenomenon. Dr. Hana Suresh tapped rapidly on her tablet, eyes scanning seismic readings as frost condensed on the viewport. "The object's emitting low-level nanite signatures," she muttered, voice tight. "But it's cloaked in a field that scrambles electromagnetic scans. Whatever tech this is, it's beyond us." Behind her, Captain Alexei Petrov adjusted his grav boots, gripping the rail tightly. "That thing's been here for centuries, hidden from every probe. How do we know it won't fry us the moment we get close?" "Because it's not attacking," Hana answered, her voice laced with dread. "Yet. Or it's waiting," Alexei said, eyes darkening. Across the void, the alien observers struggled to decode human behavior. Elder Clithar's hands trembled as he addressed his council. "They do not follow standard protocol. Their approach is reckless, driven by something more primal than logic. Revenge," hissed a council member. "They've been betrayed before. They carry the Death World's fire inside." "You underestimate them," Clithar said grimly. "They are no primitive species. Their methods unpredictable, savage." In the Sentinel's dim command bay, Elena stared at the shifting readings. "This isn't just relic hunting. It's a reckoning. Suddenly, the object emitted a soft impulse. The nanites inside swirled like liquid light, forming patterns, symbols, faint but deliberate. "Is it alive?" Malik breathed, leaning forward. "No," Elena said sharply. "It's thinking." Her words hung in the cold air as alarms whispered warnings. Outside, the object stirred. Beneath Neptune's icy veil, shadows moved where none should be. The myth was no longer dormant. The ancient object near Neptune sends out a mysterious signal, triggering alarms and confusion among both humans and aliens. Scientists race to decode the message, while soldiers prepare for a potential conflict. Meanwhile, alien factions debate how to respond to humanity's unexpected resurgence, revealing deep fractures in their perception of Earth's species. The control room crackled with static as the USS Sentinel's instruments registered a sudden burst, a sharp, rhythmic pulse slicing through the Neptune void. The signal was unlike anything humanity had encountered before, layered frequencies, quantum-encoded, shifting faster than any known code. Dr. Hannah Suresh's fingers danced over her console, heart pounding. "It's a beacon, a call." She glanced at Elena, who stood rigid, jaw clenched. "Who's it calling?" Elena asked, voice tight. "Us," Hannah whispered. Outside, the frozen object's surface shimmered, the nanite patterns coalescing into an intricate lattice of light. The pulse expanded outward, reaching the edge of Neptune's magnetosphere and beyond. The alien council's chamber exploded into chaos. "The humans have triggered it," shouted one elder, voice cracking. "They've awakened the artifact." Clithar's gaze hardened. "Containment protocols must engage. We cannot let Earth become a threat." "But they will respond," another hissed. "Their rage is unmatched. We've misread them." Back aboard the Sentinel, Captain Alexei barked orders. "Shield systems to maximum. Deploy EMP drones in standby. This isn't a rescue mission anymore. It's a war footing." Malik tapped rapidly. "Their signal, quantum encrypted, but I'm extracting fragments. It speaks of an ancient defense grid, dormant but lethal." Elena swallowed, eyes never leaving the pulsing object. "If it activates fully, it could wipe out entire fleets." "Then we either control it," Hannah said, "or it controls us." A tense silence fell. The crew held their breath as the artifact's light flared brighter, then shifted. A new pattern emerged, unmistakably a message. Welcome. But from who? The humans, the artifact, or something far older and darker? Outside, Neptune's storms raged, shadows lengthening. The galaxy was watching. The myth was calling. Tensions explode as the artifact signal draws hostile alien factions closer to Neptune, fearing humanity's rising power. Human military forces scramble to prepare defenses, while diplomats plead for restraint. As the fragile peace fractures, the true nature of the artifact's power begins to emerge. A power that could rewrite the fate of all species. The corridors of the USS Sentinel thrummed with urgency. Soldiers tightened armor, prepped grav rifles, and calibrated the new EMP arrays Malik had engineered in record time. Every face was etched with grim determination. "We're standing on a razor's edge," Elena told her officers. "One wrong move and this becomes a bloodbath." In the distant alien homeworlds, transmissions exploded with outrage and fear. The ancient treaty that had kept Earth quarantined now hung by a thread. "We underestimated them," Clithar whispered to his council. "Their primitive rage masks a terrifying resilience." A hardened warlord stepped forward, claws clicking sharply. "If they claim the artifact, we lose the advantage. We must strike before they wield its power." Back on Neptune's frozen plains, scientists raced to decipher the artifact's core. Hannah's breath caught as the nanites responded to her commands, shifting shape, almost like a living organism. "It's adaptive," she said. "It learns from us." Elena's voice cut through the tension. "Then we don't just fight for survival. We fight to control the future." The stars watched silently. The myth was no longer just a relic. It was the battleground. As alien fleets converged near Neptune, memories of Earth's brutal death world passed surface, revealing why. Humanity's survival instincts make them unpredictable and dangerous. Soldiers confront the cost of their resilience, while alien commanders struggle to comprehend human brutality veiled behind discipline and honor. The artifact begins to reveal its devastating potential. The Sentinel's deck vibrated beneath the boots of hardened soldiers. Captain Petrov gathered his squad in the dim glow of emergency lights. "Remember," he said quietly, "we're not just fighting for survival. We're fighting with the fury of a death world behind us." In the deep silence, memories flickered. Scorched deserts, frozen tundras, endless nights where only the strongest lived. Humanity was forged in fire and ice, tempered by sacrifice. Lieutenant Ria Cruz nodded, eyes steely. "The galaxy thinks we're reckless, but out there on Earth every breath is a battle." On the alien side, commanders paced, their faces pale. "Their brutality is masked by structure," a general murmured. "They kill like storms, sudden, overwhelming, and devastating." Back at the artifact, nanites shimmered, as if sensing the escalating conflict. Dr. Suresh stared in awe and fear. "It's adapting faster than we thought. The potential for destruction is immense." Elena's voice cut through the tension. "We may have awakened a weapon, or a guardian." The stars held their breath. The myth was no longer just awakening. It was alive. Human engineers deploy nanotech probes beneath Neptune's ice to investigate the artifact's core, revealing layers of forgotten technology and a cryptic interface. Alien factions, desperate and divided, attempt to sabotage the mission, forcing soldiers into a deadly game of cat and mouse. The fragile boundary between control and chaos tightens as the artifact's will becomes more apparent. The Sentinel's nanotech probes slipped beneath Neptune's frozen crust like silent shadows. Dr. Hana Suresh monitored the streams of data, flooding in, fragments of ancient tech buried beneath layers of ice and time, layers of quantum circuitry, she murmured, tracing lines of code that bent the very laws of physics. "This isn't just a relic, it's a command center." Outside, Captain Alexei Petrov coordinated patrols, eyes sharp for alien interference. "They won't let us probe deeper without a fight." Sure enough, shadowy ships flickered into sensor range, sleek, aggressive. Alien saboteurs bent on denying humanity the prize. In the corridors, soldiers moved like ghosts, engaging in silent, brutal encounters beneath swirling Neptune storms. The cold space became a crucible. Meanwhile, the artifact's nanites shimmered with eerie sentience, responding, adapting, almost watching. Hana's voice was tight. "It's as if it knows we're here." Elena's fingers tightened around the console. "We're not just explorers now, we're guardians of a fragile balance." The galaxy's silent watchers braced. The myth was no longer dormant, it was watching back. As human forces dig deeper into the artifact's secrets, tensions erupt among alien factions, some advocating diplomacy, while others demand total war. On board the Sentinel, cracks form in the crew's unity under pressure, and a covert sabotage threatens the mission. The artifact's inscrutable nature fuels paranoia and fear on both sides, spiraling toward inevitable conflict. The command deck buzzed with static-laced transmissions as alien factions sent conflicting orders. Elder Clithar argued fiercely for negotiation, while warlords snarled for immediate annihilation of the humans. "We cannot let Earth seize control," snarled a towering alien general. "Their primitive defiance will doom us all." Clithar's voice was low but resolute. "If we destroy them now, we lose the chance to understand what we face." Meanwhile, aboard the Sentinel, Elena paced the narrow corridor, eyes sharp for signs of unrest. Whispers floated. "A missing weapon here. A compromised sensor there, trust frayed under Neptune's crushing silence. Lieutenant Rhea Cruz confronted Malik. "You've been too secretive with your modifications." Malik's jaw tightened. "I'm keeping us alive." But paranoia had taken root. Suddenly, alarms shrieked. Sabotage. Someone had tampered with the EMP drones. Elena's voice cut through the chaos. "Find the traitor. This mission depends on every second." Outside, the artifact pulsed, its glow an unyielding enigma. The galaxy's fragile peace shattered. The myth was no longer just a mystery, it was a trigger. With sabotage threatening their mission, humans activate a covert military protocol tied to the artifact's ancient tech. As alien fleets close in, human soldiers face impossible odds defending the Sentinel. The artifact's power awakens fully, revealing unexpected capabilities and setting the stage for a brutal showdown between Earth and the galaxy's greatest threats. The Sentinel's corridors pulsed with alert red lights. Commander Elena Vaz stood resolute amid the chaos, voice calm but steel hard. "Protocol Omega-9, she ordered. "Initiate lockdown. All hands to battle stations. Malik, deploy." The cloaking nanites. Now. The tech specialist's fingers flew over the console. Tiny nanites released into the ship's systems, weaving a cloak of quantum shadows, rendering the Sentinel nearly invisible. Outside, alien warships sliced through Neptune's storms. Weapons. Primed, their intent clear, Captain Petrov rallied his troops. "Hold the line, no mercy." The artifact beneath the ice pulsed violently, its nanites swirling into a towering construct of shimmering light, an ancient sentinel reborn. Dr. Hana Suresh watched, awestruck and terrified. "It's defending itself. Or us." Elena's eyes narrowed. "It's our last hope." The first salvo ignited the void. Energy flared, shadows clashed with light, and the fate of Earth hung in the balance. The myth had awakened, and it was ready to fight. The Sentinel faces a brutal assault, as alien fleets unleash devastating firepower, while the artifact's awakened guardian shifts the battle's momentum. Human soldiers fight with desperate courage, facing both external enemies and internal doubts. The fragile alliance of human resolve and ancient tech pushes the boundary between annihilation and survival. The void erupted in violent light as alien plasma bolts hammered the Sentinel's shield. Captain Petrov barked orders over the chaos, voice cutting through the cacophony. "Focus fire on those frigates. Keep the shield generators online." Below decks, soldiers scrambled through smoke and sparking wires, patching breaches and readying countermeasures. Lieutenant Rhea Cruz's squad braced for boarding attempts, close combat against ruthless alien infiltrators. Dr. Hana Suresh monitored the artifact's guardian, a towering shimmer of nanite light pulsating with fierce intelligence beneath. The ice. The construct responded to every assault with precision, intercepting enemy missiles and scrambling targeting systems. Elena gritted her teeth. It's not just a weapon, it's alive. In the heat of battle, human tenacity surged. Soldiers fought with a ferocity born of Deathworld survival, their grit confusing and terrifying alien foes who expected easy victory. But inside the command bay, a silent question hung. How long before the myth's guardian turned from protector to executioner? The galaxy's future balanced on a knife's edge. As the battle rages, the artifact's sentient core begins communicating directly with Elena, exposing ancient truths about humanity's origins and its forgotten pact with the galaxy. The revelation shakes her to the core, forcing a choice between vengeance and mercy. Meanwhile, alien forces close in for a final strike, escalating the stakes beyond survival. In the dim glow of the Sentinel's command center, Elena's eyes locked onto the shifting patterns streaming from the artifact's interface. A cascade. of images, memories, and whispered voices. A voice echoed in her mind. You are more than you know, forged not only by Earth, but by the stars themselves. She staggered back, breath catching. Dr. Hannah Suresh whispered, It's reaching out, sharing knowledge. The artifact revealed humanity's forgotten past, ancient alliances, betrayals, and a pact sealed in sacrifice. The galaxy had misread Earth's brutal nature. Humans were both the inheritors and guardians of a legacy long buried. Elena clenched her fists. This changes everything. Behind the veil, alien warships advanced, closing the gap with cold precision. Captain Petrov's voice crackled over the comms. Prepare for final engagement. No retreat. Elena's heart thundered. The choice lay before her. Unleash the artifact's full wrath, or temper power with mercy, hope over annihilation. The myth was no longer just awakening. It was demanding judgment. With alien fleets converging for a final assault, humanity faces its greatest test. Elena grapples with the artifact's revelations and the crushing burden of command as battle unfolds across Neptune's frozen skies. In a desperate gamble, human and artifact unite in a powerful, sacrificial strike that forces the galaxy to reckon with Earth's true nature and power. Changing the cosmic order forever, the dark skies above Neptune burned with streaks of deadly light. Alien warships, massive and ominous, carved the swirling storms with surging plasma, their engines howling like ancient predators on the hunt. The cold planet beneath seemed to shudder beneath the gathering storm of war. On the USS Sentinel, tension tightened like a drawn wire, ready to snap. Commander Elena Vaz stood at the bridge's main viewport, face illuminated by the electric glow of Neptune's ice-crusted surface and the distant flash of enemy fire. The artifact's revelations replayed endlessly in her mind, the ancient truths of humanity's cosmic origins, their forgotten pact, and the staggering power now flowing through the nanite sentinel beneath the ice. Her breath was steady, but her heart thundered. Around her, the crew moved with precise urgency, every second counting in the battle that would decide not only their fate, but that of the entire galaxy. "Status report," Elena commanded. Malik's voice crackled over the comms. "Shield generators, holding at 80%. Nanite Sentinel is fully active and responding to commands, but the enemy fleet is overwhelming. They're massing for a concentrated strike on our position." Captain Alexei Petrov's voice came in firm, edged with grim determination. "All units are in position. We hold here, or we don't survive." Elena swallowed hard. The weight of leadership bore down like the crushing pressure of Neptune's atmosphere. "Ready the quantum disruptors," she ordered, "and keep the cloaking nanites active. We'll need every edge." The artifact beneath the ice pulsed with a living glow, its luminous tendrils weaving through the planet's core like veins of light. Dr. Hannah Suresh monitored the neural interface, her eyes wide with a mixture of awe and fear. "It's responding to emotional feedback," Hannah whispered. "The artifact, it's bonding with the crew, with all of us, but it's also changing, becoming something new." Elena glanced back to the viewport, just as a salvo of plasma bolts tore through the void, striking the Sentinel's shields with explosive force. The ship shuddered, alarms blaring in a discordant symphony. "Shields at 50%, Malik shouted. "Incoming boarding pods detected." The airlocks hissed open, and with brutal efficiency, alien infiltrators flooded into the corridors. Sleek, predatory creatures wielding energy blades and plasma rifles. Human soldiers met them in brutal, close-quarters combat, the clash of metal and energy lighting up the darkness. Lieutenant Rhea Cruz led her squad with fierce precision, each shot and strike a dance of survival. "Hold the line," she yelled, "for Earth, for humanity." As the battle raged, Elena felt a presence. In her mind, a quiet, resolute voice, steady and ancient. You are the guardian of the pact. You must choose destruction or renewal. The artifact was speaking again. Elena closed her eyes, reaching out with her own will to the living machine beneath Neptune's ice. I choose survival, she whispered, but not at any cost. Suddenly, the nanite sentinel surged. From beneath, the ice, it erupted like a titan of light, a towering construct of shifting patterns and pulsing energy. It unleashed a shockwave that tore through the enemy fleet's vanguard, sending warships spiraling into the void. Now, Captain Petrov, Elena ordered, deploy the quantum disruptors, target their command ships. The Sentinels shuddered as the first disruptor beams lanced outward, hitting alien vessels with precision, scrambling their systems and fracturing their coordination. But the enemy was relentless. From the darkness, reinforcements surged. Elena's mind raced, battling doubt and fear as the fight tore on. Then came the terrible realization: the artifact's power was not limitless. It demanded a sacrifice, a bond of life and energy to sustain its awakening. We have one chance, Hana said quietly, a direct neural link. Elena, you must interface fully. Only then can we wield its full potential. Elena's heart pounded in her chest. To connect meant to risk everything, her mind, her body, even her soul. I'm ready, she said, voice steady despite the storm, raging both outside and within. The crew prepared the interface chamber. Elena lay back as bio-neural links attached. To her temples and wrists, sensors lighting up with vibrant colors. The artifact's consciousness intertwined with hers, a flood of memories, emotions, and cosmic knowledge. Visions filled her mind, worlds lost and saved, ancient wars fought. In silence, humanity's rise from Deathworld survivors to galactic enforcers. She understood now the pact, the price humanity had paid, and the power they wielded. Back on the bridge, Malik's voice was tense. Interface stabilizing, but life signs are fluctuating. Hold steady, Elena commanded in her mind, merging with the artifact's will. Through this union, the Sentinel transformed. Its hull shimmered with nanite-infused armor, weapons blazing with newfound energy. The ship itself became a living weapon. The battle turned. Enemy ships faltered, as the combined might of human will and ancient tech tore through their lines. But the cost was steep. Elena's body weakened, tethered tightly to the artifact's immense power. In the final moments, as the enemy flagship charged a devastating weapon, Elena surged forward through the neural link, channeling a pulse of pure energy, a starburst of light that detonated in the heart of the enemy fleet. The explosion was cataclysmic. Ships disintegrated. Alien commanders screamed in disbelief as their forces scattered. When silence returned, the Sentinel floated battered but victorious, the artifact's glow dimming to a peaceful hum beneath the ice. Elena's eyes fluttered, open, her voice barely a whisper. The galaxy will remember. Earth is not to be underestimated. Around her, the crew exhaled, tears mingling with exhaustion and relief. The myth was no longer a shadow or a legend. It was a reckoning. The aftermath of the colossal battle reshapes the galaxy's political landscape as humanity emerges from myth to undeniable power. Elena and her crew face the heavy cost of victory, wrestling with loss, hope, and the burden of their newfound role. As ancient secrets surface and new alliances form, the story closes on a tense but hopeful horizon. Earth's revenge is complete, but its true journey has only just begun. The battered USS Sentinel drifted silently above Neptune's icy surface, its hull scarred by the relentless barrage of alien fire, yet still glowing faintly with the dormant power of the artifact beneath. The ice, the once frozen planet, now seemed to breathe, the nanites pulsing softly like a heartbeat, alive, aware, and changed. Commander Elena Vaz stood on the bridge, shoulders heavy, but eyes resolute. The war was over, but the cost was etched into every corner of the ship. Empty bunks, muted voices, and the lingering scent of smoke and metal. "Report," she said, her voice steady but weary. Malik, pale from exhaustion, adjusted his glasses and began. "The artifact's energy signature has stabilized. It has integrated fully with the ship, and through you, with humanity's collective will. The galaxy will feel this shift for decades, if not centuries." Elena nodded slowly. "And the alien fleets? They're retreating. Their command structures shattered, their morale broken. Many now call for truce, others plot revenge." Malik's voice held an edge of warning. "This victory makes us targets." From the command center, Dr. Hannah Suresh entered carrying data tablets bristling with new information. "Elena, the artifact revealed more than just power. It shared knowledge, ancient star charts, forgotten technology, even details about human origins that challenge everything we thought we knew." Eleanor's gaze darkened. "Our place in the galaxy? It's not what we believed." "Exactly," Hannah said. "We were once part of an ancient coalition, betrayed and left to the harshness of our death world. This artifact was their last safeguard, a guardian, a weapon, and a reminder." The revelation stirred something deep within the crew, a mixture of pride, sorrow, and a raw hunger for justice. A soft chime interrupted the moment. Elena moved to the comm panel, her expression tightening. "Commander Vaz, this is Ambassador Rylan of the Andari Collective," came a measured voice. "We extend a formal request for diplomatic talks. The galaxy must reconsider its stance on Earth." Elena's heart quickened. This was no longer a myth whispered in fear. This was a summons to power. "Prepare the diplomatic suite," she ordered. "It's time we write our own legacy." In the quiet moments that followed, Elena found herself standing before the viewport once more, staring into the swirling storms of Neptune below. The battle, the revelations, the losses, they weighed on her like the planet's crushing gravity. Beside her, Lieutenant Rhea Cruz approached, her voice soft but steady. "We did it. We survived." "Yes," Elena replied, "but surviving is just the beginning." Rhea glanced toward the distant stars. "The galaxy thinks they know humanity. They don't. Not yet." Eleanor smiled faintly. "Let them learn. We've spent too long as ghosts in their history. Now, we're a storm they can't ignore." Meanwhile, deep within the artifacts, core beneath the ice, the nanites pulsed in silent vigilance, their consciousness intertwined with Elena's own. The ancient machine had awakened not just a weapon, but a promise, a bond between Earth and the cosmos, a promise of resilience, of revenge, of mercy, and above all, of survival. Months later, the USS Sentinel stood at the forefront of a new coalition, a fragile alliance forged from respect, fear, and necessity. Earth's representatives sat alongside former enemies, negotiating a future that balanced power and peace. Elena addressed the assembly, her voice echoing through the grand chamber. "We are no longer the forgotten Death World survivors. We are the inheritors of an ancient legacy, the guardians of a myth reborn. Let this be a new chapter, not of war, but of understanding." Her words stirred hope and uncertainty in equal measure. Outside the chamber, Malik and Hannah exchanged quiet looks. "The galaxy is watching," Malik said. Hannah nodded. "And now so are we." As the stars shifted overhead, the myth of Earth transformed, from whispered legend to undeniable force. The ancient pact broken and reforged, the galaxy held its breath, knowing that humanity's journey had only just begun. Elena looked to the horizon, the weight of the future settling around her like a mantle. The myth was no longer a shadow, it was a legacy, and humanity was ready to claim it.